we've got to raise the bar, and we've got to continue to raise the bar. I don't think any of those young men, when they signed to come to Tennessee, they signed to say they wanted to come and be a part of a 7-6 program. They said they wanted to come and compete for championships, SEC championships, national championships. I know that's what I want. I know that's what Tennessee wants. I know that's what the expectation is. So we've got to continue to reassess everything that we're doing and make sure that we're continuing to move the needle in the right direction.
Just making sure that the little things are taken care of, like getting our cleats in the dirt and just playing.
What we have to do is make sure that we got our cleats in the ground before the ball is snapped. I think that's the key to the game, and make sure that
just get our cleats in the ground, execute calls, the urgency of communicating and getting lined up.
Yeah, you got to get your cleats in the ground and you got to go play.
The team makes 2 6 win. Play 4 makes breaks, 1 comes always score. If it hurts, you ain't breaks, we'll get you double it up, put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our leading our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, through the games after this win in. Press you again, we're here for the first man. Can everybody keep it up 6 minutes?
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back. Just wait and you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom, boom, major look, huh? Yeah, this one is for the books. All these chances I took still, I move straight on these rooks now.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
I'm Dauber.
I'm Gabriel.
I'm X Factor.
Man, we got it done right. We got it done right. I feel like we'll figure this thing out. But it's the last game of the year. We might as well get it right on the introductions. 157 people watching right out of the gate. Thank you guys for hanging out for the Tailgate show. Going to be a good time, man. It's football time in Tennessee, Dauber. It's time to play a little dang football. Feels like it's been too long. What's it been, a month? Ready for some football.
Been a month. Let's get it. Let's get it. I'm ready.
What's even worse is it's been a month, X Factor, and then we got to wait till 8 o'clock. So I've been up since about 8 o'clock. It's been 12 hours waiting on football to get here. You ready for this one?
Yes, sir. I'm ready. Let's do it. It's like Christmas morning all over again. Hey, and I said, let's go get this dub. Let's go be 11-2, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know. Today's gone by really quick for me, so there's not been that sort of game day nervousness. Today doesn't feel quite the same as a regular season game, as bowl games rarely do. But I'm really excited I'm just excited to watch this team play football again. I'm excited to watch Joe Milton take the reins fully. You could say that this is his first game fully taking the reins since he started initially last year. So I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm excited to see what the rest of our team looks like with the different guys we have going in. So I'm really excited to watch this team play tonight. I'm excited to see what we can do.
Isaiah Key coming out hot, and I was going there too. I think I see some orange down there in the bottom of Gabe's.
Yeah.
Yes, there we go.
My brand new hoodie.
You had to buy a new one to keep people from yelling at you, but that's okay. They're yelling at me now, Gabe, about my hat. We all have on orange, but my hat's still not good enough.
See? Yeah,
it's all right, man. It's all right. I'll take the heat. Gabe, diehard fan now. He's a diehard fan. But somebody in the chat said since Gabe started this show, he looks like he's aged 20 years. The internet's rough, man. The internet's tough on you. It'll make you an old man real quick.
It probably has to do with my camera as well. The camera I have is like 3 times as good as the camera I was using before, so you can actually see like the texture of my skin and stuff. So it makes me not look like a baby-faced, baby-faced tiny guy or something. So
that's what I got too. I posted pictures of me and Dauber playing golf, and they said I was a baby face. That's fine because I would rather be a baby face and look 30 instead of 40. It's okay. We'll take it. We'll accept it. Why is everybody yelling that it's muted? In the chat, they were all saying it was muted at the start. I don't know why, but everything's fine now. Devin Church is in the house. What's up, Devin? Seth is here. Justin Sanday is here. John saying no sound. Why do we not have sound? No audio. Muted. I don't know why they're all saying that. I don't know if it was an issue with even Brad. It must have been something going on with YouTube at the beginning. But we're fixed now. We're good to go. Come on in. Smash the thumbs up. It's a fan call-in show. It's a tailgate show. The link is out there for Talkin VAWLS Elite and higher. So if your watch party tier, if you're Boogie's boss, you can jump on here and talk some Tennessee football. Adam Huckabee says, love the hat. It's iconic. Now, Dauber, the funny thing is, what did the hat used to be? I mean, it was last season probably. It wasn't an App State hat, and it wasn't a Tennessee hat.
It was the Froning Farms.
That was earlier in the season. Last year, though, it was the ETSU hat that I wore all the time, and that triggered people as well. But now the App State hat triggers the people that actually liked the ETSU hat, so now I'm just pissing everybody off 1 week at a time. Let's get some super chats here. Appreciate the support from you guys. Ron the Don for $10. I want to know if Clemmy Tiger Tail tastes like Mizzou's fried up and dip it in orange sauce. GBO dropping those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. We appreciate it, Ron the Don. Joey Carroll for $5 says entrance fee for the best game day show on YouTube. Thank you, Joey. We appreciate that. Entrance fee. That's the thing around here now. If you want to watch the show, you got to pay a $5 toll to come on in, hang out, and listen to the show. Not my rules. It's their rules. Rolly Season for 10. Thank you for Super Chat. This one is for Hendon, number 5. Let's go win one for Hendon. Yeah, that'd be a great way to send out this football team. Roger Gerald for 5. Great to see everyone. Go Big Orange. Thank you, Roger. He's coming in and paying his entrance fee. Elijah Allen, the kid, for 5. Thank you for the Super Chat. Our D-line is going to touch Klubnik more than Dabo's allegedly, Dabo's brother touches kids. Elijah, what are you doing with your life, man? You come in here on Sunday nights talking about how church is changing your life, and then you come in here on Friday nights and you're talking about, come on, kid. Devin Church for 5. Thank you for the Super Chat. Entry fee for you guys. Anyone read the Hooker farewell? Did you guys read that out on Twitter?
I haven't read it yet.
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
yeah.
It was awesome.
Good stuff.
I've not read it yet either. I saw it, but it's one of those things, man. It was long, and it's like if you're going to sit down and read that, I need some time to actually soak it in. Let's look at this guy. You want to talk about hats? Look at Seth coming in rocking the cowboy hat. Coach Jay is here. What's up, guys? Seth, how you feeling, buddy? Look at you. Look at being a character down there.
I feel awesome today, man. I've had a heck of a few days. My brother's been in town. He left this morning, but probably got some work done today, last day for the year ends. But I'm so excited for just another day of Tennessee football, and sadly get to wait for another till next season. But I'm ready for this to go. There you go.
Coach Jay, I'm just glad you got the link because I meant to send it to you on Twitter because you're canceled. I didn't know if you would get it. So can you actually see the link? You just can't comment?
I can see the link. I just can't comment. It's funny because I can't even super chat on that one account. So even if I want to send you like money on that account, they won't let me.
I don't understand because it's not – but you said you can comment on other channels, just not this one?
Yep, every other one.
What in the world?
Super weird. It's super weird. So Yeah. I don't
Oh my
know.
gosh.
I
Yeah,
don't
that
know.
makes no sense. I went and checked. I scrolled through all the excuse my language assholes that I've banned over the years, and your name was not there. So I don't know what the deal is. Let's see here. Travis becomes a member of the channel. Thank you, Travis. We appreciate it. You got access to those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. Dolly Van Hussey becomes a member of the channel. Thank you, Dolly. Appreciate the support as well. Guys, show them what they've won. Put those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis in the chat. You guys got to keep those memberships rolling in throughout the offseason. We appreciate that support. Dan Yoder for 5. Joe has been working with the ones for over a month now. Expect the wide receiver and QB to be in sync. I like it, Dan. I'm excited to see what Joe can do today. I am. I'm excited. A little preview for next year. Brian for $20. That ain't cheap. Says entry fee initiated. Is this like poker? Did Brian just come in and raise, and somebody's got to call him? Thank you for the $20, Brian. Top donation for the stream so far. So I'll update the leaderboard. Coach Jay, what do you think from Joe tonight? You excited to see what he can do?
I'm super excited to see what he can do. I think every Tennessee fan is chomping at the bit to see exactly what we're going to get after Mr. Joe Milton tonight. Hopefully they can test that arm deep a little early and keep him honest. I've already seen the chat kind of buzzing about that, and I think it's a good idea. I think it's a great idea to test him early, loosen that defense up, make it a little easier to run, and at that point, everything else open up. The middle open up, those easy side passes open up, and just open up the whole field. But you got to hit at least one early. Look at what that big squirrel white pass did at the beginning of the Vanderbilt game. Really didn't matter after that. It just opened everything up. So
yeah, I think that's spot on. I think you're gonna have to see the running game get established and then unleash Bazooka Joe. Get him in the game with some easy, quick passes. We've talked about the middle of the field is what needs to be exploited. Those quick passes, crossing routes, quick slants. Man, I think Joe Milton and quick slant, I think that's your money right there. And then I want Dylan Sampson to be the guy that has a huge game tonight. I think that he fits this offensive scheme, and I think he fits this system. I know we've got a couple of other guys that can shoulder the load as well, but I think the play calling when Dylan Sampson is in the game it just seems to be opened up a whole lot more.
It's more dynamic.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to say it again. Joe Milton running the football is going to be, I think, a major, if not the main tipping point in tonight's game. I really do. If we cannot let Joe get loose and run the ball and get downhill a couple times, it's going to be harder for him to be able to really open up on those passes. And if he gets in a rhythm without having to run, that's fine. But again, Joe Milton, man, that's a big guy. He's not slow either. He's not slow, and he has some shift to him. So, I think that him getting the ball in his hands and running the ball tonight is going to be a major tipping point in tonight's game. So that's what I want to see.
Do you think they're going to open it up? Do you think they're going to open it up? Because I know Taven Jackson, he's been throwing a little bit. I don't think Taven Jackson's 100%. I don't even know if Taven Jackson is cleared to play tonight.
He was technically available, but I believe the news was that he will not be dressing.
Okay, so if you run, and again, it's the last game of the season, but you run Joe Milton, you get him banged up, you're going to Gaston Moore. That's your next quarterback on the roster.
I think it's a bowl game. It's the last game of the season. You want your guys to have fun. It's a special experience. I think they open up the playbook. There's no point in coaching scared in this game.
But at the end of the day, you want to win this game,
right?
Well,
carry that momentum to 2023.
Well, but what I'm saying though is that you might have a hard time winning the game if you don't take some of the risks that might end up in Joe getting hurt, because it's a balance. I don't pretend to know how hard it is to make those decisions. About if we run Joe, he might get hurt, but at the same time, if we don't run Joe, he might not get in a rhythm. He might not be able to get in that game. He might get in his head like he does and get excited about the throws and not connect on any of the throws that we need to connect on to win the game anyway. So I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, I think Joe's one of those quarterbacks, kind of like a fighter who likes to get punched before they really get loose in the ring.
Yes.
I think he's someone, I agree, Gabe, where you want to get him out, let him run down that sideline, put his head down, and truck a safety or a cornerback or something like that.
I agree. I also agree with I also agree with Devin in the chat saying that Fant is QB2, maybe a Wildcat quarterback. Sorry, Coach Jay, didn't mean to interrupt.
I thought he was playing safety this week. Sorry. Yeah, my bad.
Gabe's getting excited. Just because Princeton Fant was missed. Hey, let me get caught up on some super chats.
Is it too late for him to win the Heisman? Is that too late? Okay.
They're going to have a revote after tonight's game. He's going to win the Gabe Memorial Trophy Award post game Orange Bowl. Dave John becomes a member of the channel. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that support, guys. Keep those memberships rolling in. It keeps me happy. It keeps my power on. Keeps my water coming in. I appreciate that. Richard Griffin also becomes a member of the channel. Thank you, Richard. We appreciate that. Backwoods for 5. Thank you for the super chat. Squirrel White in the slot full time. Dabu Boo will be seeing orange flashes all night as he burns there. D, by the way, Dolly Van Hussey is my old lady. All right, Backwoods and the old lady both in here as members of the channel. Thank you, Backwoods family. We appreciate it. Jay Clark for $20. That ain't cheap and doesn't say a word. Just says, here's a tip in the tip jar. We appreciate that. Jay, you're the leader. Got you updated on the leaderboard down there. Thank you for the donation. Culberson for 10. What's up, buddy? Game day. Let's go. Bazooka Joe going to ball out. You know, it's going one of two ways. Actually, let me come back to that. Let me come back to Culberson's comment. We'll go back to talking about Joe Milton. Jason Lawrence for 5. Thank you for the super chat. Entry fee paid. Excited for the game. Hope Joe puts on a show. Let's see. We got a couple more coming in here as I was catching up. Let's see. The kid for another 5. Thank you for the super chat. For my profanity. Now he says sweat jar. What's a sweat jar, Elijah? You're going to have to drop another 5 to update now your profanity and now your poor spelling. But thank you, Elijah, for your swear jar. I like your swear jar. Maybe I need one of those too. Nate for another 5 with another – wait, Nate. No, different Nate. Thank you for the $5. What up, Balls fam? Let's get this W. Thank you, Nate Pruitt. Appreciate the super chat. Let's see. Got a couple more here. Eric B. Jones. What's up, Eric? Good to see you in the chat, my man. Thank you for the $5. Here's my entry fee to help Boogie with Talkin VAWLS full time. Appreciate that, Eric. Thank you for the super chat. Redneck Dwarf for $20. That ain't cheap. Says let Milton run. Use Sampson both running and receiving. And let those young receivers ball out. GBO. Thank you for the generous super chat. You guys being very generous tonight. We appreciate the support. My gosh, you guys just keep going. $50. Bleed Orange. For $50, that ain't cheap. Doesn't say anything. Just says, here's 50. You know what to do, Boogie. Shut up and do it. Okay, I'll do it. Bleed Orange, I'll do it.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
I fat fingered the button 3 times. All right, let's try that one more time.
There we go.
I missed the button 3. I hit it like 6 times in the span of 2 seconds. Thank you, Bleed Orange. Very generous super chat. I'll update the leaderboard for you as well. And let me go back to the Joe Milton comment. There's a couple more super chats. We'll come back and get those here in just a second. But do you guys agree, disagree? Let me add these couple of guys real quick. We got John in the back and Dustin in the back. Do you guys agree or disagree? After this game tonight, everybody's going to be saying one or two things. Either Joe's going to win the Heisman next year or Nico for quarterback week 1. Right, wrong, or indifferent.
100%.
Yep.
That's this fan base. They're going to base it all on this game tonight. You guys agree? Besides me and Dauber, we're on the same page.
Probably.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. It's definitely going to linger over into whatever next season ends up being. So, yeah, there's a leash about this big for poor Milton.
There's definitely going to be a couple of people, probably like the 2 people on Twitter that are like, I want to see Taven Jackson starting next season.
Yep, you do have those.
Other than that, I think that's it. And if Taven Jackson's the better quarterback, I wouldn't mind. We've not gotten to see him play really. We don't know what he's capable of, but it's hard to not look past him when you have the golden child of football in the past few years. Well, I'd say Arch Manning probably got more attention than if Arch Manning didn't exist this year. Nico would be like the holy grail of football. Recruiting this year, but
dead serious. If anybody on this panel could choose the quarterback, Arch Manning or Nico for this system,
it's
everybody's taking Nico, right?
Taking Nico.
Now, maybe in a pro-style NFL system, maybe you go with Arch.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, I don't know. But this system, Nico's the perfect fit. We got our guy. Let's roll with Nico.
Well, either way, we're going to see that showdown once Texas comes into the SEC. We're going to see that showdown. So I can't wait for it.
But heading into 2023, you've already had the quarterback coach say, "Listen, it's wide open. You know, there's no. It's so and so's job to lose. It's an open battle at the quarterback position, and that's what I want to hear coming from the staff, because it's going to drive either Joe to get his ass in gear and get it right, or it's going to drive Nico to take the reins from him, or it's going to drive Taven to beat them both out. So you're going to have those three guys working to win that job, and that's what you want to have, because it's all three guys, you know, battling to be the best and win that job.
Did you hear what Joe said about go ahead, Dustin, go ahead.
I would just say, you know, we haven't had much consistent quarterback play in a long time. So, and you can see what, you know, good quarterback play can do for a season, for a team. Not that it's just on him, but you know, it's so huge in the college game that, you know, I think this coaching staff's not going to settle for anything less.
100%, Dustin.
Yeah,
I agree.
If we had this coaching staff,
nor are the fans.
Yeah, if we had this coaching staff back in 2016 with Josh Dobbs at quarterback, we would have won a national championship that year. I fully believe that we would have.
Were you alive in 2016?
Yeah, I was. I watched that whole season, dude. I'm telling you, if you look, Josh Dobbs started his first game for the Titans last night, and he made that coaching staff, offensive coaching staff look competent. That's it. That's what he did his whole career at Tennessee. That's all he did was make Butch Jones and his staff look okay. If we had a competent coaching staff that could put points on the board with the players we had, Dobbs and Kamara and Jalen Hurd and all the other guys, we would have been competing for national championship. In
I'll tell you what. I would have paid a lot of money to watch Rodney Gardner coach up Derek Barnett and Khalil McKenzie and Shai Tuttle rather than the staff we had. I'll tell you that much.
Absolutely.
Think about all the talent you guys just rattled off offensively and defensively, and again with this coaching staff.
Team at the same
and
time.
think about the record that was there with all that talent there.
Yeah. As close as this team's been to being back since Fulmer. I mean, honestly. But again, it goes. But Butch, I saw somebody talking about Butch and his recruiting. He recruited for stars and stars alone, not for culture, not for fit, not for team chemistry, not for need. He's like, offensive line, to hell with the offensive line. Let's just go out and get 12 running backs because they're 5 stars and they want to come here. Yeah, that's
we
it.
won't even put him on the field.
Well, and that's why, too, like a lot of people, you know, like they bash him. And see, me personally, I can't really bash Butch, man, because like I said, you seen that he got us the win with Florida. He got us the win with Georgia, you know, but I get it. You know, we lost to South Carolina and Vanderbilt, and that's unacceptable. But, I mean, he's kind of the one coach that got us close to getting over to that hump, like this season with Josh Heupel, but he just couldn't get it done. So, but, yeah, man, that team had some talent. The 2016 roster, oh, man, there was so much talent on that team. Then, yeah, I agree. That team, we could have easily went to SEC championship or the national championship with that team.
I wish when Xavier said, "I don't hate Butch Jones," I had the clip queued up of him dancing. It would have been the perfect time of all times to play that. Let me catch up on some more Super Chats. John, do you want to read this one to me? John for 25.
Let's end the season on a high note with a big W. Let's go Big Orange. Oh, yeah.
I think that's the first time somebody's ever super chatted, then popped on the show 2 seconds later. Hey, appreciate it, John. Always very generous. We appreciate it, man. Robert Tuck for 5. Thank you, Robert. Let's go Vols. Beat the hell out of Clemson. Let's let Dabo flip some burgers. Hope Milton balls out. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate the super chat. Wayne for $20. That ain't cheap. I don't care who wins the starting QB spot next year. I just want the best player playing. That gives us the best chance to win. That's where I'm at. I think that's where all of us are pretty much at for the most part. Some people get attached to a quarterback. and run that narrative forever and beat it into the ground and leave comments and yell and say all kinds of racist stuff in the comments section. That happens sometimes. Not pointing any fingers at anybody, but I'm with you, Wayne. We want the best guy on the field. I don't care who it is. Miss Backwoods VFL changes her name. I'd love to see that. Thank you for the $5. I've been telling y'all Sampson's. It's since day one. Changed my name on here for you, Boogie. All right, now I could put Mrs. Backwoods with Mr. Backwoods, just like Mrs. Coach J with Coach J. I can keep everything straight, keep everybody in line. Thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it. Seth, say something, buddy. Oh, actually, Dave, say something. Dave just popped in. What's up, Dave? Good to have you on the show, buddy. He's like me, fat finger in the mute button. Watch, I can unmute him. What's up? No, I can't either.
Uh-oh.
I can't unmute him.
He's frozen on my screen.
Oh, there he is. Now he's back. Can you hear us, Dave? It's a fan call-in show. You never know what you're going to get.
Well, I'll say this real quick. Notre Dame just beat South Carolina.
Yep.
I'll take it.
There's a 4th and 38 at the end that South Carolina was trying to get over. 4th and 38. They got an unsportsmanlike conduct at the end. So
that sounds about right. They're quickly rising to the top of my most hated team list.
Yeah, because I mean they beat us and they think that they're the stuff, and it's like you just got hot at the last minute. Which, I mean, credit to them. I mean, it is what it is, but
Shane Beamer is he's just a big loser, man. Like that's
not
a winning coach. Like even Steve Spurrier, who loved like that, he was a winner. You know what I mean? Like Steve Spurrier, everybody hated Steve Spurrier, but you love Steve Spurrier.
Mm-hmm.
You don't love Shane Beamer. He's
or like Lane Kiffin. It's like, look, you hate Lane Kiffin for who he is, but you also love him.
I just don't think the same. And here's the thing: I know there are a lot of people that like Shane Beamer, but I feel like there's a point where Shane Beamer just gets old eventually. It's like, dude, can you just?
Because he's just like Butch. He's just like Butch. He's exactly like Butch.
He got his team a 15-yard penalty today in a pretty critical spot, like earlier in the game, just because he just couldn't keep his mouth shut, and he looks like he's on crack out there. Like he literally is like he can't stop moving. He's like moving his head, like swiveling us. I'm like, dude, are you okay? Like he's going crazy out there. So I don't know. It's to me, he's not going to be fun to coach against just because he's just so obnoxious. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, just like I text my homeboy, shout out to Big Head 1385 that's watching the show. Love you, boy. I'll text you after the show. But like me and him was just texting though, is that we'll see if they keep this momentum going into next season, and then just think they're coming to Neyland to play us, and that game's going to be huge. It's going to be huge.
Let me throw this out here. Got a friend down at Hard Rock Stadium watching warm-ups right now, and fresh, hot news, breaking news. Says Joe Milton is overthrowing a touch.
Really?
And
who would have
thought? How dare you? How dare you?
I mean, I'm not making it up. And then my buddy replied.
Oh, we believe you. We believe you.
Come on.
What a buzzkill. What a buzzkill.
I'm just throwing it out there.
300 people watching, having a great time. Everybody's excited, and Joe Milton's overthrowing the foot. Thanks, Dauber. Thanks for bringing us down, buddy.
Hey, let him get all those out in warm-ups. Because he's
is that what's happening?
Okay.
Is that what's happening?
That's
no,
what
but
it
just
is.
because you brought it up, it's now going to come back to bite us.
Hey.
Everybody come back after and just yell at Dauber after this, okay?
Yes.
I've said it twice this week on air. It's not the defense that worries me, because the defense is going to be what the defense has been all 2022. The defense is the weak link. Can the offense move the ball down the field with Joe Milton at quarterback? Can the offense score points? I think it was Coach Jay that said the running game. We got to get the running game going. And Boogie and I talked about that was probably one of the two things we talked about playing golf the other day, football-wise, was the running game, and then we talked a little bit about Joe Milton. But I think the running game has to get going, and Joe has to get established early because, like we talked about at the top of the show, he's one of those guys. He has to get in a rhythm. He has to get a hit. He has to get a couple passes under his belt complete, and then he sees the ball. It's like one of those like a pure shooter in basketball. He's got to see the first couple go in, and then it's on. I hope he balls out, and I hope that it leads to the momentum to 2023 and that quarterback battle. But man, I'm a little worried about this. It's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a tight game.
Yeah,
Well,
that's why I said last week it's a toss-up. Sorry, Gabe, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. I was just gonna say that. I mean, I think the main question still is, how does Cade Klubnik play? If Cade Klubnik plays like trash, it's not really gonna matter. Tennessee's gonna score. I mean, whether Joe Milton makes a few overthrows or not, it ain't gonna matter if Cade can't drive their team down the field, and maybe he does. If he
dude's
does,
a track athlete though.
What, Cade is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. I think he's going to be a really good player. I mean, he can throw the ball too. It's just if he gets off his rhythm or tosses a couple picks, if our secondary can make a couple plays somehow, then I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how the score actually, because I really have no idea. I really have no earthly idea how many points Tennessee is going to be capable of scoring, how many points Clemson is going to be capable of scoring. So it's going to be that's why I'm excited to watch it, because I don't even know what to expect. Like we thought we knew what to expect in the season. We don't really know that right now.
You do have a couple big guys on that defensive front end, that are coming out with business left to perform and running their last game. So I like that matchup. Guys coming out for one last ride and getting after a true freshman quarterback. So that's one thing to keep an eye on as well, Gabe, like you just said.
Yep, absolutely. Rushing the passer. I'm excited to see who can get hands on the QB tonight. Who can do it? Everybody's playing except do we have any? Everybody's playing except Jeremy Banks. So that I know of.
Yeah, and that's going to hurt us. Yep. His presence will be missed.
Again, though, like I said on the fan calling, we're not going to feel. We're not going. It's not going to affect this team the same way it did against South Carolina, because the circumstances are so different that you will miss his style of play. But I don't know if there is going to be that large of a drop off statistically and like actual game wise. The South Carolina game, it happened the week of, and it was sort of a culturally dividing thing that happened. Whereas now it's just he chose not to play, and the guys have known it for weeks, and they've been able to practice without
He
it.
didn't choose.
Yeah.
He didn't choose not to play.
The guys knew for weeks.
Allegedly.
He had no choice, but the guys have known for weeks that he was not going to play.
He was a great addition to Vanderbilt, though.
Well, yeah, sure, but
I think when you look at it, John, you're looking at who would you rather have, Juwan Mitchell or Jeremy Banks on the field? It's a no-brainer.
Jeremy Banks. Yeah, because I mean, like I say, he led the most tackles last season, so it's like just because the locker room issue and all that, but you got to give credit to the kid. I mean, he's good for a reason. He was the leader of that defensive line for a reason. That's why like I said, I still give him praise. I wish him the best going to the NFL. It's just I just hope that he just checks his ego sometimes. It's like, because if you're going to the NFL and you think that you're bigger than the team, they're going to check that real quick.
I do agree with Gabe, though. Jeremy Banks not playing is not the reason South Carolina scored 63 points. Way more than that. But I would much rather have Jeremy Banks than Juwan Mitchell. 100%. No questions asked.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the extra practices will give some of the new guys or the guys that haven't had much playing time a little bit of confidence, because we all know, and a lot of people talk about it in the press, is that, with all this downtime, tackling is a big issue. So hopefully they're aggressive and just ready to roll and no hesitancy right off the bat. They gotta kind of take over, and I want to see the aggressive approach like we had at Pitt and Kentucky.
We should play Jalen McCullough at linebacker.
My boy Big Head 1385 said here in the comments said we got JJ Peterson starting at linebacker.
Hey, why not?
Awesome.
Why can I not
Yeah.
see him? Oh, there he is. I see him now. I was like, why? I couldn't see him in the chat, but I see him now.
I mean,
Hey, let me hit a couple of. Wait, what'd you say?
Oh, sorry. I was just about to say I honestly just want to see like an absolute domination from our defense in order to just give us the best chance to win this game.
Let me jam a couple of super chats real quick. Trey for 5, thank you for the super chat. Says, here's my entry fee. We're 35 minutes into the show, but Trey is going to make it right. He says, here's my $5. We appreciate the super chat, my man. Ron the Don for $10. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, y'all, get that membership upgrade. It's nice. It smells like Vol Orange Success up in here, GBO. Thank you for the. What is that noise?
It's my knees.
That's what I was gonna say. That's exactly what I was going to say. That's my
Somebody
knees
needs
after
some
playing golf
WD-40.
the
Somebody
other
ate
day.
some beans.
Somebody needs some WD-40 on those knees.
Easy, man.
Thank you, Ron the Don, for the $10. Appreciate the super chat. Yeah, get those memberships rolling in. We appreciate that support. Also, what do we got? 350 people watching live right now. Guys, do smash the thumbs up. If you don't want to be a member, you don't want to super chat, all that's fine. Hit the thumbs up. That's quick, free, and easy. We would appreciate that. Also, go check out the merchandise. Let me pull up the website. I'm not professional, so I'm not prepared. I got to type in the address. Does anybody know what that web address is if I forgot it by chance? Sammy P, do you know the web address?
For what?
For the merch.
Bonfire/Talkin VAWLS.
Oh my gosh, Dauber doesn't even know it. Go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You can check out the brand new. Although I feel like I need to change it. I mean, Dauber doesn't even know the link.
I was pretty close.
What'd you say? Bonfire.com Talkin VAWLS. Go get your Boogie Dauber 2024 shirt. We appreciate it. There's only one vote, and that is the vote. Maybe I need an Xavier and Gabe shirt and see which one sells more. But anyway, all the merch is
Because
there.
you said that, it would be them.
Hey, I don't care because the money's coming to one spot and one spot only. So you can buy whatever you want to buy at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. All right, enough quick plugs out of the way. It's a tailgate show. It's a fan call-in show. Somebody go. You guys. Wait a minute. Who dropped out? Who left? Somebody left.
Dave.
Okay, Dave. Matt's been trying to get in. He's been in the back and now he's gone. Matt's the spot is there if you want to bounce in, buddy. If not, that's fine. Two, who's not been talking? Rob, you just popped in. What's going on? Are you excited about tonight, buddy?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm chilling here at the station at work and just excited to watch this game. I'm hoping the boys will go out and take care of business, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm thinking Bazooka Joe transitions to Javelin Joe. So Javelins target their Javelins hone in on their targets. So hopefully Joe can do that tonight.
Yep. It'd be nice. We'll see.
Yeah. We need it. We need it because, like I said, going to the next season, I'm gonna give Joe about 4 games. He's got 4 games to get that touch right, and if he can't, we all know it's coming.
Okay, I don't know. Like I said 2 weeks ago, I'm a huge Joe Milton fan, and I hope that Joe gets that starting job, and I hope he leads us to that magical season that we all want, and I hope he is this era's T. Martin, but he's got like Xavier said, 4 games.
Here's the thing about Joe. Is Joe the type of quarterback who can play at like 75% of what he looks like he's capable of, and he seems really frustrating, but then when you look at the scoreboard and there's 55 points up there, and you're like, oh man, this isn't a good game for Joe Milton, and yet we're still winning every game. Is Joe that? I feel like Joe is that kind of quarterback. It would take a lot for him to actually play badly, in my opinion. To actually affect the game in a really negative way. Missing wide open shots, that sucks. But when you have 10 wide open shots in a game and you hit 5 of them, we're talking about 35 points. You know what I mean? If that's what it takes, plus I'm just saying that Joe has. I feel like Joe is going to have that effect where it's people
but
are
we want 70 points, not 35.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I agree with you,
baby. Let's go.
When did this Gabe Dauber rivalry start?
Dauber chose a fight with me.
That's Dauber's son. What are we doing, guys?
Yeah.
He has to show his dominance.
Territorial. Yeah.
Senior and junior.
Cage match. That's a live stream cage match between Dauber and Gabe.
Yeah, I think those. when those overthrows can really hurt you. Like thinking back to that Pitt game, not this year, but the year before, we kind of jumped on them and kind of had our foot on their throat, and Joe had a chance to decapitate them a couple times and didn't. And that's when that kind of thing can really hurt you.
Right. Well, here's the thing. In all seriousness, when the defense is your weak link, you have to put as many points on the board as possible. So giving up 5 possessions where you don't score and your defense allows scores, you're going to lose those games. I mean, it is what it is. You look at South Carolina. This offense, in my opinion, is not built to play from behind. You saw the struggle. Even with Hendon Hooker playing, when they were chasing points, this offense just bogged down and they did not get rolling. When this offense is rolling, there is nobody in the country that can play with it. But it has to be efficient and effective to put the points on the board.
I still think there was something extra going on in the South Carolina game because I mean, we haven't. There's not been very many. I mean, obviously defensively, but I mean offensively because there's not been many situations this season where we've been chasing points. But we had to sort of regroup and come from behind in the Alabama game as well, and did it against Alabama. And I know we found an exploit, but there was something going. I mean, whether or not South Carolina just had our offense figured out, it's hard to think. I mean, of what that was, but there was something extra because man, nobody could get going. I mean, that was really, really bad. So I don't know. The hard thing is that we can't put a finger on what that was. That's the frustrating thing is like on most times when you have a bad game like that, obviously the defense sucked. But I mean, offensively, what went wrong? What was the thing? We can't put our finger on the pulse of what exactly went wrong. Was it just South Carolina had us figured out? Was it just mistakes upon mistakes upon mistakes upon mistakes? You know, or was it a combination? I don't know. So that's what makes it so much more frustrating. Is and like thinking about these scenarios is like what actually did happen. Like is this offense really that difference when coming from behind? Because, you know, like it's still built to score points. But I guess the question then would be, if you figure this offense out, is there anything that we can do to put breath back in our lungs? If somebody figures this offense out, is it just one-dimensional enough that we can't do anything else to try and put points on the board? If somebody holds us, then we're not putting points up. I don't know. That's just a question. I'm not saying that's the case.
The next game after was 56-0, even though it was
exactly.
Look at what South Carolina did against Notre Dame. I mean, they just lost against Notre Dame, mediocre Notre Dame. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah, it's definitely a high risk, high reward system, right? And we all knew when Josh Heupel came in that it's going to put a lot of pressure on our defense, which has already had huge holes in it. They have to go hand in hand, and like Dauber said, you don't get an infinite number of chances to hit these plays. When you do have a wide open receiver, Hooker hit those more times than not. Yes, he's not perfect, but more times than not, the majority of the time he hit that. And I also agree with Gabe. Like, up to this point, you know, Joe has been that like 65, 70, 75% type quarterback, and there's just so much more. We all see it. We just want him to succeed so bad. I really hope that he can, you know, tie the knot in it.
It's interesting in the 4 games that he came in as mop-up, he hit some deep balls on pot. You know,
beautiful throws.
I've never seen.
Yeah, you know, in practice he hits them great. There's just something about his pressure.
And hey, I don't know. You know, it's just like in basketball. Just like in basketball, sometimes people are just better off the bench. You know, that could be a part of it too.
Kai Ziegler,
especially when you're up 30 points.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that he's letting the pressure of being QB1 get to him? I mean, let's look at the Vandy game. You know, he overthrew a significant amount of passes.
I mean, the pressure shouldn't get to him.
The system.
The pressure shouldn't get to him because, I mean, he's been sitting in the shadow of Hendon Hooker. And like I said, they're roommates. They're basically brothers. You know, they have that very strong friendship and connection. So, really, that pressure should be gone going into this next season. Go ahead.
Yeah, and Boogie's brought it up a bunch, too. Like, he's this is his 6th year. You know,
Right.
it shouldn't be too big for him at this point.
It's funny.
Yeah,
I feel
he
like
can't
I feel like his athleticism just like transcends every sport so much that he's so athletically capable that he has no choice but to just like sit there and think, you know, be like, oh yeah, I know I could sail this ball 80 yards. Okay, I'm gonna do it, and then he just overthrows it. You know what I mean? As opposed to playing on the edge of your capability and just letting your body just run and run and run. It's like he's so capable that all he has to do, he's like, I'm just jogging over here. Meanwhile, he's like outrunning everybody, and I'm just gonna like flick my wrist, and it's like a 60-yard bomb. You know what I mean? So I think he just gets in his head. He gets too excited, and he just doesn't know. It's just the small technique stuff that he just can't quite master yet. That leads to that sort of stuff.
Or it's just like, you know, like the practice video we seen with him throwing the orange 100 yards. I mean, it's just he's just one of, like you said, Gabe, he's one of those guys that he was like, hey, you guys want to see me throw this orange 100 yards? And then it's like, okay, you can do that, but when it's crunch time and game time, I need you to. We don't need that every play, man. We just need just a little touch. We just only need like 5-10 yards for a completion.
Right.
But I don't know. That's just Joe, I guess.
Yeah, I just it's like, do we need him to like use his index finger to just like throw a ball? Like if somebody's like on a 10-yard curl route, does he just need to like put it on his finger and just go boop? Because otherwise he
underhanded.
I mean, I have never seen a football leave somebody's hand that fast, aiming at somebody so short on the field. I can't imagine.
I mean, he needs to stop putting that entire frame into his throw.
Yeah. What did Ramel say last year? He said if you can't catch the, I think Ramel said it last year, if you can't catch the ball from the jugs machine on maximum, then you can't catch a pass from Joe Milton. Like, oh my God, that is insane.
Yeah, every single big-time commentator out there, Kirk Herbstreit, Greg McElroy, all these people, the first thing they talk about is his arm, right? I mean, a lot of people have never seen anything like it in college in general. But we all know that don't mean anything if you're not hitting the ones that count.
Next year, our fans are probably going to be next year. Joe Milton. I'm just going to say this because it's a pretty easy prediction to make. Next year, Joe Milton is going to be the quarterback that everyone's like, oh, he's a top 3 quarterback on the draft boards, and everyone's like, what? I mean, he might play like it too, but even if he doesn't, even if he's a Will Levis, Anthony Richardson type, he's like Anthony Richardson 2.0. Draft NFL teams are looking at this guy Joe Milton and going, like, from the moment he stepped foot on the field as a freshman, it probably didn't matter whether he played in college or not. He's such a physical specimen that he is going to get drafted. So it's going to be our job to support him instead of being like, yeah, no, he doesn't play that good, you know, because I could so easily see our fans being like, what in the world? How was Hendon Hooker number 6 or 7 and Joe Milton is out here number 1 on the quarterback draft boards this season, you know?
Well,
because that's what everyone else is going to be saying.
Well, it's just like I've always said this whole season, though. Just Joe Milton reminds me of Cam Newton. He literally does. He just looks like just a, you know, in this prime young Cam Newton. Now, like I said, will he carry that success into the NFL? Probably, and I could see it. I hope he does, but I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
I have visions of the receivers, Happy Gilmore in the batting cage, getting ready for Joe Milton's passes.
Yeah, I like that, baby. Yeah, bring it on.
Somebody pointed out, Ramel also in that same thing said that one of Joe Milton's passes literally tore his hand open.
Oh, yeah.
He literally got a freaking like an open sore on his hand from trying to catch a Joe Milton. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's I mean, and of course that was last year. So, I mean, Joe Milton is still just as strong, but maybe he's toned that down a bit. But still, that's just an unbelievable.
I still want to see
strength.
Joe Milton. At a carnival, you see those little ducks that go across. Just hit a defender in the helmet to see if he can knock him over.
I want to see Joe Milton trying to throw an axe. There's got to be a tomahawk throw in Knoxville. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Looking like Kratos out there.
Hey guys, I'm getting ready to bounce. I got to run down the road to a friend's house where we're watching the game. I'll be back for the post game.
Have fun at the bar.
I still think it's 35-31 Tennessee, and I think Joe's going to find it. He's going to get in tune, and and it's going to be a hard-fought game, but the Vols are going to come out with the W down in South Beach. So
Go Big Orange.
Go Big Orange.
All right.
I'm going to jump off. I think Matt's in the back waiting. So
GBO, Dauber, be safe.
Let's
I
get
got a
it.
call,
Let's get
guys,
it.
so I got to
See
go.
ya.
Later, buddy.
All right.
Easy, Rob.
Abigail Daniels for $1. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate the tip in the old tip jar. Davy Crockett's Oranges for $5. Thank you for the super chat. Says GBO. Appreciate those tips. Let's get Matt on here. Matt's like, I wish Dauber would just shut up and get out of here so I can take my spot. I told Matt like 10 minutes ago, I'm like, chill, man. Dauber's about to bounce. Dauber's like, yeah, I'm signing off at 7:30, 7:35, 7:40, 7:45, 7:50. It's like, Dauber, just shut up and go, bro. Just shut up and go.
All
It's
good,
okay.
baby. All good. Boogie and Dauber 2024, right?
That's right. That's right. I may need a new running mate if he can't stick to his word. I don't know. We'll see. What's up, Matt? How you feeling tonight? You ready for some football, buddy?
Oh, you know it, man. I'm excited. Being down here in Georgia, repping this orange, getting a lot of looks today. So, but
I'm with you, Matt.
I love listening to the Joe Milton thing. I don't know if you guys got it this morning, but there was an incredible article in The Athletic about Joe. He ranked 14th nationally in 54 pass attempts of completions over 50 yards. I mean, he's got every skill set known to man. I heard Gabe talking about it, that this dude has the potential to be a top 3 quarterback, the first-round draft pick in 2024 or a backup in 2023. I mean, can you even fathom putting those two things together? It's kind of unseen, unheard. But, he's going home, too, tonight. That's the thing I like about him tonight is he's going home. He's playing in front of a lot of family and friends. I think that's going to be the Broadway Joe that shows out finally and makes all of us Tennessee fans feel like we've got a really good shot of a really good year next year as well. Sorry, my dog Knox is here playing with me.
Yeah. I'll say this and I'll bounce as well. I'm curious to see if those overthrows do happen, or if he's not hitting the long balls, how does he manage the other parts of the game? Can the intermediate passes hit, and can the tight ends and the running game take over if we don't get those big shots tonight? And I'll say my score prediction. I don't think it's going to be super high scoring, but I'm kind of in the Dauber range. I think I'm going to say 34-28 Tennessee, baby.
All right.
Later, Dustin. Thanks for jumping on, buddy.
Enjoy the game.
Always. See you guys. Appreciate it.
Your point. So, what if Clemson's plan is just we're gonna have Joe Milton beat us by throwing?
That'd be the
Because
worst
they
game plan
see-
in the world.
that'd be the worst decision you ever made.
Just because, we're all talking about he's gonna overthrow. He's gonna overthrow. What if Clemson's thinking the exact same thing and they just mainly hit on the run?
Then they're getting torched. They're gonna get, because they can't, if they play for our run game, they're still not gonna be able to stop our run game. It's just it's too good at getting the small yardage. It's too effective, and that's the same thing as trying to make Anthony Richardson beat us with his arm. It's like he showed that he could if he had weapons. Man, Anthony Richardson can get after it. It's like making Spencer Rattler beat us with his arm. He did. So I think trying to make Joe Milton beat you with his arm, you want to take those. You want to make Joe Milton try and throw the ball short. You want to take away the deep ball. That's going to be their priority, is take away, try and play the run as much as you can, but take away the deep ball. Try and make him be accurate with those over the middle, short passes to the outside, stuff like that. Try and make him be accurate with those. Because if you just say, oh, we're going to just try and make him beat us with his arm, he will. He will. I mean, again, if they let our guys pass them 6 times and Joe hits on 2, that's 2 scores. I'm going to take it. I'm just saying. So
Kevin Smith for 5. Thank you for super chat. GBO 60 minutes and never let up. Thank you, Kevin, for the super chat. Dustin brought up a good point. Coach Jay, you've been quiet. Don't you? I think Joe is so much better. Like, I think he's really good, the intermediate passing game, crossing routes, getting the ball out quick, the little hot passes to the outside. I think he's really freaking good. It's just dialing in those deep balls.
Yeah, it's anything where you need a good touch, good air on the ball, and good ball placement, particularly on outside shoulder throws above 35, 40 yards is to me like his real spotty type stuff. We were talking a lot about with Caleb Beasley outside leverage for cornerbacks. And if I were Clemson, I would take that route as much as I could with my cornerbacks and try to force those as much as I could and keep my help over the middle with the safeties. If he can master that, and it's, once again, it's one of the toughest things to master. I mean, we just talk about it like it's simple. The guys who are good at stuff like that, I mean, you're talking about Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you're talking about the greats that are good at ball placement. Like I mean, not only the intelligence and the calmness and all that stuff. I think Joe can do that, even though he gets a little anxious at times. But that last little teensy bit of separation is that just perfect ball placement where only your guy can catch it, where it's always on time, where it's always accurate. Man, it's going to be the last piece of the puzzle for him, and let's see if he can get it. If he can get it, I think everyone is in agreement here. Joe Milton will go very, very far if he can master that last thing. And if he can't, he'll probably still be pretty dang serviceable because he's got all those attributes, because he can run the ball, because he can throw the slant, because he can throw those outs, because the offense can run the ball. We'll be all right. But if he can master that last little piece, it's going to be what takes us from whatever 8-3, whatever you want to say, from even that 10-2 we had to doing some real damage. I think they could do it, but he needs that last piece of the puzzle. We'll see how far he can take them.
Ardor Wolf for $1. Thank you for the super chat, Ardor Wolf. Appreciate that, buddy. The chat's going nuts saying, Boogie, why are you not talking? Because it's a fan call-in show. You guys hear me talk every single day. The fan call-in show is for you. I get on and host, and if it gets quiet, I'll drive the conversation. But this is where you guys get an opportunity to talk. So that's what we're looking for. But do you guys, Matt, do you have any doubt? Again, Joe Milton going into his 6th season next year. If you've not figured out touch by now, I mean, Joe Milton's going to be 48 years old next year coming back to play football. If you ain't figured it out by now, can you figure it out?
I think he made a good point in this article this morning. I read again that he came in last year, didn't know his receivers, didn't have a connection, came in, started playing. There's a disconnect there. We've seen Joe at times this year find it. We've seen him in, I don't give him a benefit of the doubt in the rain, overthrow his receivers at Vandy. But we've seen at times him find it. I think it's in there. I think a lot of times with Joe in any type of sport, it's 100% a mental issue, right? And believing you can do it and then executing it. Because we all know he has every single skill set known to man. I mean, it's very odd to think that you've got the ability to throw a Hail Mary from the 20-yard line, which we really realistically have the ability to do with Milton as a quarterback. Do I think he can find it? I think it's to be seen. But if there's anybody in America that can find it with him, it's Josh Heupel and Joey Hogley. That's the one thing that I believe. If I'm a Tennessee fan like I am, if I have the trust in the quarterback coach and the quarterback guru to help him, and we've seen him come leaps and bounds from one year to the next. And I mean, realistically, I don't know what we see last year from Joe. We all talk about that Hendon took his job. Well, it didn't necessarily happen that way. He got hurt. Hendon just never gave it back. So what happens if Joe doesn't get hurt in that game against Pitt? What do we see, in 2021 and all of Joe? Who knows? I have faith that he can do it. I want to because I'm a fan, and I want to because, you don't find guys with his skill set and talent that will sit out a year and stay at the university. I think the bond he and Hendon have is just inseparable. Every other quarterback in America would have transferred, and he didn't. So you want to believe he can do it, and I trust Hosley and Heupel to help him.
Well, let's roll through the chat real quick. Let's get some score predictions. Guys in the chat, give your score prediction. Normie for $2, thank you for the super chat. Everybody's going nuts saying, wrap this up in this. We got about 10 minutes till kickoff. We got all the time in the world. We're not going to go in depth. Don't give me your big breakdown that goes 12 minutes. Give me a quick score prediction. Xavier, what do you got, buddy?
It's going to be a close one, guys. Like I said, it's going to be tight. But like I said, we are the better team. We've always been the better team this whole entire season. So I'm going to go with Tennessee 45, Clemson 35.
Gabe, what do you got, buddy?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it while I'm sitting here. But I think, honestly, we're probably looking at a 38-34 scenario. I got to take the Vols. I think we can edge it out, but yeah, I'm thinking 38-34.
Would you listen to the Wednesday show for that prediction? I said 35-34 Wednesday night.
Oh,
so
did you?
Great minds think alike.
Here you go.
Seth, what do you got, buddy?
I got 38-28. I think we come up on top 38-28.
That's what Scott Bennett's got right there in the chat as well. Coach Jay, what do you got?
First, shout out to Faith Thomas out there in Los Angeles, repping in the chat, and all the alumni over at Billard's in Santa Monica today. But I got 42-38 Vols.
Sammy P, give me something, buddy.
Well, Coach Jay stole mine, 42-38. Run game's going to dominate.
It's all right. It's a good one.
Hey, football smart people think alike.
There you go.
Or you just copied off the coach. One or the other. Sammy P.
No.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got, Matt? Give us a score prediction. We'll wrap this thing up and get out of here.
All righty, 38-34. I like that.
All right.
I think we block an extra point at some point tonight. So let's go Vols.
I like it. Just a reminder, we'll be live immediately following the game. Tons of content coming your way. Going to be dropping the day after video in the morning. And then the breakdown of Caleb Beasley, #1 player in the state of Tennessee. Coach Jay breaks down some film. That's going to be going up Sunday morning. So just stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe, dial in. Hope to see you guys right back here in the chat immediately following the game. For the X Factor, for Gabe, for Seth, for Coach Jay, for Sammy P, for Matt, my name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.